Despite all of Light's unbelievable strategies and all the awesome moments in the Death Note anime, many weren't adapted into the live-action Netflix movie, and it's understandable to a certain extent due to the short amount of time that they had to cram an entire series into one movie. There was, however, one scene that was inexcusably passed up, one of the most original, memorable moments of the entire original Death Note anime, the legendary potato chip scene that people speak of to this day, more than 10 years later. So here's my analysis on the importance of that scene, with absolutely zero sarcasm and being 100% serious on the gravity of that moment. Until this point in the anime, strategy-wise, L was destroying Light, being able to narrow down an untraceable force in such a short amount of time to the point where Light was his prime suspect of anyone in the world. The first thing Light's done to truly fool L was the legendary potato chip scene. Yes, despite the fact that the outline of the mini TV should have been visible in the small bag, despite the fact that light from the TV, especially with motion, should have somewhat emanated from the bag and be noticed by the ever-observing L, despite the fact that by the angle he's sitting in, it's impossible for him to see the TV in the depths of the bag, and despite the fact that he inevitably threw out a bag that still looked more full than your average bag of chips comes with, which is approximately 98% air, still unnoticed by L. In other words, this plan was foolproof. And the entirety of the scene was Light subconsciously taunting L at his victory. It was no mere coincidence that he chose a bag of potato chips. Starting off at the basics, it's 98% air, and you think you're actually buying a bag of chips. This immediately reveals that there is deception in Light's actions. He chose potato chips because it's the #1 cause of death in America, being that it causes weight gain, higher cholesterol, lower blood pressure, and just simply takes up space of other food that may actually have nutritional value. Light is taunting L that he too will be the #1 untraceable killer, just like potato chips have been getting away with it for years. And that's just the beginning of what makes this scene the paramount moment of the Death Note franchise. Because the reasoning why he's chosen chips in general, well, that was blatantly obvious to anyone watching for the reasons I've already mentioned. However, why does he say potato chip?
A potato chip.
Nearly chip would have sufficed to deliver the message. Oh, does it go deeper? Out of all of anime, there was only one that actually uses potatoes as a meme and plot point. You guessed it. The legendary Attack on Titan. As even foreshadowed by the secret lyrics of the opening. And it also contained Potato Girl, a girl literally named after the secrets of the potato, which again, could have been any other type of food. However, these potatoes were raw, as opposed to the unhealthy chip form, so it still retains its nutrients, and isn't as deadly as its counterpart. Because in Attack on Titan, the potato chip is eaten on the side of justice, fighting the Titans, being humanity's enemy, revealing their fighting force through the potato. While Light ate his
potato chip,
ironically, revealing that he is fighting against justice, but that he will be equally victorious. The actual potato representing good, and the potato chip, its unhealthy counterpart, being a simple representation of evil. You can see his victory further against L ensured by the ferociousness of how he eats the potato chip, being the most discreet epic foreshadowing of almost any anime. Going back to Attack on Titan, when Sasha was eating her potato, she was not doing it with nearly the vigor required to reveal her upcoming victory. So too, her potato eating was her defeat. She was punished for her actions, and her eating of the potato was in vain. It may seem obvious to you all now, but her offering him the smaller half the potato is the representation of her weak resolve and ultimate failure, despite being an incredibly poor tactical decision. This brings me to my next point, being the gusto required in eating food. As we see in many anime, the protagonists love eating, and eat with gusto, foretelling their upcoming victories, as one of my favorite shonen protagonists, Shaggy from the anime Scooby-Doo, which is as much of an anime as Avatar, reveals again, and again, being one of the most OP protagonists in anime history. As seen in Toriko especially, where the plot is literally eat food and get stronger, revealing the secret anime has kept hidden for years. Now, not every anime falls into this category of eating equals power, and that the method of eating foretells future developments, but as I've already proven, with 100% surefire logic, Attack on Titan does fall into the category of awesome foreshadowing, as proven again, yes, by the ration cracker eating scene, revealing food devouring at its finest, to the same extent as Death Note. And of course it leads up to their victory, reclaiming claiming Eren as their own. Now that the importance of the potato aspect is clearly defined, we must understand what it represents on a level deeper than merely determination going against the power. What I'm about to prove to you will surely blow your mind. In the anime, The Saga of Tanya the Evil, at the end of every episode, there was a 30-second skit, if you can call it that. Now, one of them was where Tanya was writing a letter to the family of one of her fallen officers, apologizing for returning him in such bad condition. And the reason for that irreversible injury was... yes, poisoned by a potato. It could have been anything. In fact, rotten potatoes are an extremely rare type to cause any form of illness. But this is anime, where potatoes mean so much more. As it's easily deferrable from here, we elucidate the secret behind Death Note's potato as well. That potatoes represent death, which is why despite everyone complaining at how poorly made Ryuk was in the original Death Note live adaptation, everyone who complained missed one simple detail, that he was literally a potato with googly eyes. This is a quote coming from the words of our modern day anime superhero Joey, otherwise known as the Anime Man.
Considering Duke from the original 2006 Death Note looked like a white potato with googly eyes. Potato, potato, potato.
At least he understands that Ryuk is the manifestation of death incarnate representing the potato. And to all you Digibro analyst fans,
fashion plays a major role in the series. As someone who's into cute and cool clothes, this has my attention.
He said he's into cute and cool clothes. Anyway, I have to say, you could do analysis videos on Joey, just to show of his awesomeness and alphaness, making that original Death Note live adaptation the purest adaptation I have yet to see. And if you still require any form of solid evidence, not that you do, there's one other anime that I'll bring to light that pulls together this entire brilliant, unrefutable potato chip analysis. That anime is the Demon King and hero Maoyusha. This anime aired in 2013, so there is a high probability that many of you have not watched it. So to clarify, its plot starts off cliche, about the humans and the demons both hating each other with their entire hearts, with both sides dedicating themselves to fury, to commit mass genocide upon the other race, when the strongest human, otherwise known as the hero, goes on the ultimate mission to assassinate the Demon King, who needless to say happens to be a girl, because this is anime. She tells him of her plan, and they decide to work together to unite the races in peace and harmony. So she returns with the hero to the human realm, masking her appearance as a demon, to spread wonderful agriculture throughout the country, and through this bring harmony to the world. Did any of you remember what this agriculture was? That's right, she introduced humanity to potatoes, an incredibly filling and easy to tend to food, with massive quantities that humanity didn't know about at the time. She also explained that the uncooked root of potatoes are poisonous, which is true, and therefore that represents the extreme difficulty of the situation to get it exactly right. Whether you're actually eating a potato to avoid the roots, whether it's in Death Note, avoiding light, or of the Demon King avoiding detection, and all with a secret poison hidden from the adversary. My friends, do you see the connection? Light is also attempting to unify the world through that very same potato. And just like the potatoes mask the true identity of the Demon King, so too do the potatoes mask the secret identity of Kira. Light YAGAMI is far too pretentious to merely fool his opponent, but he has to show him the answer right before his eyes via the potato chip. The word chip, of course, represents poker chip, as he was constantly gambling his life with strategies more out of the box than Kakegurui. But I don't need to explain this at length. I think it was fairly obvious to everyone that the other half of the potato chip metaphor represented gambling of life, and how light isn't a chip off the old block. So when people complain about the live-action Death Note movie, and they jokingly complain that it's missing the potato chip scene, subconsciously they know that's correct, because the essence of the potato chip scene is the essence of Death Note itself, for telling the entire story up till the end of episode 25. And as for the final 12 episodes, well, that's all revealed in Mello's chocolate. But that's an analysis for another day. This video was inspired by Mother's Basement's What's in an OP videos, because anything can be twisted to sound cool even if it means nothing.
See, we're also looking at everything through a scratched up pane of glass, much like a window, which is a fairly specific detail. This whole sequence shows Shigechi's perspective, looking through the window.
Okay, that was a joke. It was a joke. God. Kinda. Thanks for watching so much. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like if you like this new sarcastic analysis thingy that I'd like to be starting up whenever one of these weird-ass things come to mind. And subscribe if you want to see more. I'll link an actual analysis video, so you know I don't use my mind only for this nigga-higging type crap. And I'll also link a sarcastic video, so that you know some of my sarcasm where I'm actually legitimately making good points against a series isn't just used for nigga-higging type crap. And since this is Death Note and everyone wants more Death Note, I'll link a video Digibro for alternate anime recommendations if you like Death Note. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at @Nux_Taku. Link to the Discord I hang out in the description. And if you want to hear a live stream rant on the Death Note movie with me and some other YouTubers, the link to that is in the description as well. Feel free to suggest what you want to see next time altogether, or feel free to suggest a completely insane out-of-the-box scene you want me to try to analyze in a somewhat similar fashion to this guy. Also, please consider this a slight conversion in my channel because I will start doing actual analysis videos because I think I got what it takes. Well, in any case, this was the first of its kind and it was a hell of a lot of fun to make. So ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a most wonderful evening and I'll see you next time.